The story unfolds with a group of 100 fully armed thugs, angry and waiting for someone to show up. Eventually, Baki, a 13-year-old boy, comes there. He beats up the leader and takes on the thugs. However, he is overwhelmed after beating up over 30 of the thugs. Police officer Kido and his partner are around the corner. They only come to stop the fight when they see that Baki has been beaten. Meanwhile, Baki is disappointed that he couldn't take on the 100 thugs. He believes that his father would have taken them on without any problems. This strengthens his resolve to train harder because he wishes to be as strong as his father. Angry at the kind of training he has been getting, with the help of his rich mother, who happens to be the Achziwa group, he destroys the equipment and sets out to train himself in his own way. While thinking of a better way to train himself, he sees a professional boxer, Yuri Chavosky, and follows him to his training ring, where he is surprised at Yuri's speed and decides to take him on as a worthy opponent. Yuri agrees to take in the challenge, even though Baki is just a kid. He decides not to go easy on him to teach him a lesson. During the fight, Yuri notices how strong Baki is for a kid his age. However, this strength is unmatched by Yuri's professional skills, as Baki is eventually defeated and knocked out. Yuri is impressed at Baki's strength and skills. When Baki wakes up, he is angry that he has to lose to Yuri. What angers him more is because he has never lost a fight to anyone before. On the other hand, Keiru Hanayama is a 15-year-old boy with great strength. He's the leader of a gang and unrivaled in combat. Baki's mother sends a representative to offer Keiru any amount he wants as long as he is willing to fight Baki. He declines this offer, but eventually reconsiders when he finds out that Baki is the son of Yujiri Hanmei. In a bid to get stronger, Baki leaves his home to the mountains to train. Now on the mountain, Baki meets his father's old friend, Ando. Ando teaches Baki that he has to learn a lot to be able to grow up fast and gain muscles. However, Baki is not contented with this and decides to go out on his own to train. While training alone, Baki encounters the Yaksha ape. At first, he doesn't see it as a worthy opponent. Even after being warned by Ando to steer clear of this ape, the ape beats him up and is about to kill him when Ando saves his life. Unfortunately, this gets Ando severely injured and he is taken away in a helicopter for treatment. Seeing what the ape did to Ando, Baki gets determined to train his body even harder to be able to defeat the Yaksha ape. Now supposedly trained, Baki seeks out the Yaksha ape for revenge. They fight brutally, laying blows on each other. In the heat of the battle, Ando returns and tries to save Baki, but Baki pleads with Ando to let him be. He wishes to defeat the Yaksha ape on his own, just like his father had done. The battle with ape continues, and Baki eventually defeats it, forcing the ape to flee. Later on, Baki feels bad that he had to fight the ape and cause it so much pain. He seeks to apologize to it and is directed to its place of abode. Getting there, he offers the ape a skull of its dead wife, which Baki's father had killed. The ape offers Baki a tooth in return. Now trained, Baki returns home. He goes to his mother and finds her watching Yuri's middleweight title match. Watching it, he thinks Yuri has gotten slower than he was in their last encounter. This piques his mother's interest and forces her to direct her assistant to try and convince Yuri to fight Baki. Yuri is offered a briefcase of cash for this fight, but he turns it down. After the middleweight match, which he had won, Yuri trains for the heavyweight title match. However, while he gets ready to go to the ring, he is confronted by Keiru and his man. Yuri attacks Keiru and is brutally injured. This causes him to be absent from the match. Realizing the cause of Yuri's absence, Baki forces his way through to Keiru's office in what seemed like an open declaration of war. This angers Keiru a lot and causes him to hunt Baki angrily, seeking to do battle with him. Baki goes to visit Yuri in the hospital and promises to avenge him. Meanwhile, Baki is attacked unexpectedly by Keiru and they eventually do battle. The battle gets more and more brutal, with none of them ready to admit defeat. Baki delivers a brutal blow to Keiru, forcing him to take off his clothes and reveal the tattoo on on his back. The story behind Keiru's tattoo is revealed, being passed down to the leaders of their family. It is the fierce picture of a man who had protected the last member of their family from total annihilation years back. This doesn't scare Baki, who is more determined to defeat him. The fight continues, with both of them throwing even more brutal blows and hurting each other further. However, when it seems like Keiru had knocked out Baki, he rises up and spits out the glass he had put into his mouth earlier. This was to prevent him from passing out. This brave act forces Keiru to concede and admit defeat. While the two men are lying on the ground and tired from their long battle, a helicopter comes over the building and drops a man right in front of them. He turns out to be Baki's father, Yujiri. Baki is thrilled that his father has returned and expects his father to be proud that he had defeated Keiru. However, Yujiri is disappointed that Baki had gotten weak. He takes on Keiru, who charges at him, beating him mercilessly. This annoys Baki, who insists that Keiru is in no shape to do battle against the strongest fighter, as Yujiri likes to be called. Baki continues to be angry at his father's cruelty. He decides that he must get strong enough to take on his father. However, Yujiri is disappointed about how soft his son has become. He heads to the mountain and kills the Yaksha ape. While Baki is training, Yujiri brings him a box and delivers it as a supposed present to him. It turns out to be the remains of the Yaksha ape. This causes Baki to be very angry, and he attacks his father. However, his father waves off his attack and advises him to get stronger if he wants to be able to stop cruel people from getting away with cruelty. Yujiri gives Baki 1 month to train harder, after which he would do battle with him. In a bid to train harder, Baki finds himself in a mountain, hoping to meet the one being that is equal to his father in combat. On getting there, Baki encounters 5 soldiers who knock him out and tie him to a tree. Later on, he releases himself and takes them out, one after the other, in a bid to fight their captain, who is rumored to be equal to his father, of whose name is Gaia. After taking each of them out, he feels he has wasted his time coming here, since he is unable to fight Gaia. While he renders his displeasure, one of them begins to shake, as the others warn Baki to run if he wants to save his life. Apparently, the shaking soldier is actually Gaia. Baki is surprised that Gaia happened to be the only soldier amongst the 5 who didn't put up much of a fight while he was taking them out. Gaia tells him that he is actually another personality inside the body of the soldier he had fought earlier. He feels offended that he is compared to Yujiri, whom he considers to be the ogre. They do battle, and Baki is unable to land a blow on Gaia. Gaia informs him of a technique which allows him to predict his moves before he does them. As the fight goes on, Baki realizes Gaia's strength and utilizes the knowledge in defeating him. The other soldiers are shocked that Baki is able to land a blow on Gaia and eventually knocks him out. When Gaia wakes up, he is impressed with Baki and offers him a chance to eat dinner with them. He accepts the offer and is pleased to be eating with warriors such as these. When Yujiri hears the news of Gaia's defeat at the hands of his son, Baki, he sees it as a small feat and moves to attack the Prime Minister. He takes out all the men that the Prime Minister had stationed for his protection and advises him to tighten up his security. Baki continues to train himself for his fight against his father. He seeks the training of a samurai warrior who at first ignores his pleas, saying he is too young to learn. However, Baki eventually defeats him in a fight, and this leads him to change his mind. Meanwhile, Baki's mother is more obsessed about Yujiri than her son. She is told by Yujiri that if Baki doesn't prove to be a worthy opponent, she would be wasted. This gets to her, and she begs Baki to win. However, Baki, seeing the love of his mother, asks her if she would love him as much as she loves his father if he wins. She runs off without replying, and this causes him to think a lot. While on the street and looking depressed, he encounters some boys who beat him up because he had hit them while walking. He doesn't react to their confrontations and is aided by Keiru, who chases them off. For more recaps like this, click the next video. You wouldn't want to miss out on this story.